Oh, hi, Mark. Alrighty, guys and gals. I figured since it is the spoopy season, October, the favorite month of you and me, and yes, I am drinking an excessively large Monster Energy drink. One day it's probably going to explode my kidneys, but it's delicious and worth it. All right. Kidneys be damned. Anyway, I figured since it is the spoopy season, Terrifier would be a good film to review. By now, you probably all know what Terrifier is, but I'll give you the rundown in case you're a little late to the party, okay? A little late to that party. And, oh no, there's schmutz on my cover. Anyway, Terrifier is a 2016? I want to say this more. I'm a fucking liar. Terrifier is a 2018, off by a little bit, horror film about two women whose car breaks down after a Halloween party. They go to get some food, and while they're getting food, uh, this guy shows up and he starts harassing them, and they slowly realize that he's not as harmless as they may have originally thought him to be. It's a really shitty plot synopsis, but I think you got it. I think you got the basics there, bud. And anyway, this is an awesome movie if you haven't seen it. Now, Terrifier 2 is out right now. I don't want to review that movie because I want a copy on hand so I can actually watch Terrifier 2 when I review it. So I probably won't review it. If I do at all, it'll probably be next October. Or one of the following Octobers. Just one of the Octobers. I plan on reviewing Terrifier 2 because I do want the Blu-ray on hand. That way I can actually watch the film when I review the film. But anyway, the first Terrifier, it's not all great. There is some stuff that is less than amazing. The actors, for instance, aren't the best actors in the world. They aren't. But on this budget, I don't really mind it. It's what is going on with my hair right there. I'm sorry, guys. You don't want to hear about my hair, but that is bugging me. That is like, oh, I'm just gonna. Now it's better. Holy shit. That was fucking awesome. Anyway, not all the acting is great in this movie. Uh, but like I said, on this budget, I don't really mind the acting all that much. Dawn isn't that great. The actress that plays Dawn isn't that great. The actress that plays Tara isn't that great. The pizza shop guys aren't that great. But I think they all do a serviceable job, and I think they all do what they need to do, which is provide non insufferable faces for this psycho right here to butcher. And speaking of that psycho right there, he is played by David Howard Thornton, who also portrays him in Terrifier 2. He does not portray him in All Hallows Eve. That's Mike Gianelli. But uh, David Howard Thornton in this movie, he is an exception to the acting's kind of so iffy, alrightish. David Howard Thornton in this film is amazing. The faces he makes, he never says a word in the movie, which if you know anything about Art the Clown, you know he doesn't speak. He's kind of mimish in that way, but it's not a detriment. It is way to the benefit of this character that he never speaks. It makes him so much creepier, and in the case of Terrifier 2, it makes the kind of almost physical comedy gags that he does that much more effective. So of course, that's Terrifier 2. I don't know why I can't just stick to Terrifier 1. I guess Terrifier 2 is just kind of fresh on the brain. I did just watch this as well, but oh well. Like it's parting right there. I don't understand. Oh yeah. that's that's the stuff right there, buddy. Now, where this movie really shines is the gore. A lot of people are going to criticize this movie for. Actually, I shouldn't say are gonna. I should say have. A lot of people have criticized this movie for a lack of story because it really doesn't have a ton of story. Now, I would argue, did I just like. When I said I, did I like. Did I like gleek? That was fucking disgusting. It didn't land anywhere. Not on me. Jesus Christ, guys, I'm fucking sorry. I am rancid this video. I haven't even showered yet. My hair's all just wild and crazy times. But anyway, a lot of people criticize this movie for not having a huge story. And I would argue, I don't think this movie needs a crazy story. I didn't think Terrifier 2 needed a crazy story, but they added some story in Terrifier 2. I need to stop talking about Terrifier 2, but like theoretically, it doesn't need that. I think this is a good enough concept for a slasher film because that's what these are. They're slashers. These don't need to be these crazy deep movies with all these deeper themes and meanings and holy shit. Have you ever seen The Mutilator? Have you ever seen Madman? Not exactly story-driven films. To criticize this movie, which is essentially just a modern The Mutilator or a modern Madman for a lack of story is just funny to me. It does not need one. It does not need one. This movie is about atmosphere. It really does do a pretty good job of like the Halloween atmosphere. Outside at night, it always kind of feels cold and wet and like it harkens back to October nights outside freezing my balls off, and that's a good thing. That is a good thing. It helps the atmosphere of this movie. And then whenever you're inside, this place is gross, this place is nasty. It aids the movie in in being gross and nasty, which is like the whole point of this film. The kills are great. Like I said, the gore effects amazing. My personal favorite, I know everyone's like, oh, the halving kill, which I'm not going to get into what these kills are, who they happen to, just in case you haven't seen Terrifier. Although after all these years, what are you doing having not seen Terrifier? You go watch Terrifier, young man. You should be ashamed of yourself. All right. But the halving kill is pretty much like everyone's favorite. My personal favorite, although that I will concede is like more taboo, doesn't happen. My favorite is the decapitation, because up until the point where he just starts ripping, I think that's one of the most like real looking, well, not real looking necessarily, but like kind of realistic feeling decapitations I've seen, where he's just sawing through the guy's neck and it's just, whew. Again, you don't need to know who that happens to or the context of it or anything, but brutal kill. Awesome. Awesome kill. I think this movie does a really great job as establishing Art the Clown as a horror icon for a new generation. Just like I think, unfortunately, the horror icons of this generation, I'm sorry, I just went like this. I meant icons. The horror icons of this generation aren't very well known, which make them not really icons. Though they should be. Guys like Victor Crowley and Chrome Skull from the Laid to Rest movies, and now Art the Clown. You can't walk into a Spirit Halloween and buy Art the Clown merch, which, by the way, is a crime against humanity. Crime against humanity. If there's any horror movie in the last decade, maybe a little less than a decade, because I think it's been less than a decade since Trick or Treat came out. But if there's any horror movie in the last 7 years or whatever, however long it's been, I'm stupid when it comes to math, fellers. uh, to deserve a whole like section in the in Spirit Halloween's, it's Terrifier. You know, I want to see freaking Art the Clown plastered everywhere because I think as this moves on, as this franchise begins to grow, and I hope Damien Leone rides this thing out. I really do. That's what I want to see from this director, is for him to keep making Terrifier movies. And I know that's terribly restricting. And I mean, it'd be sick if he did other stuff too. Just I hope he doesn't stop with the Terrifier movies. Terrifier, just this is what I care most about. um, I would love to see Damien Leone just absolutely flesh this thing out into a huge franchise. You know, talking like 10 frickin' movies or something. You know, just something insane. I would love to see it. I know a lot of people aren't big on franchises. They're like, every franchise after like the third one sucks. And that's your opinion, and that's fine, dude. I don't think that way. I think, you know, there's lots of franchises, in my opinion, that have awesome movies past the third one. And as far as these franchises go, I want them to keep going because there's still a possibility that they're going to come out with another movie that I like. You know, and I see it as we get more and more of this, like, why would I not want more? If I love the film Terrifier 2 comes out, I love Terrifier 2, why would I not want a Terrifier 3, 4, 5? Why would I not? You know, just like the Hatchet franchise, I would love if Adam Green would keep making Hatchet movies, but we haven't gotten a Hatchet movie since Victor Crowley, which is pretty sad, but anyway, guys, I can't rate this as a film because as a film, not great. Okay, some of the, like I said, the acting, some of the lighting and like the camera quality, all that, it's not the greatest. It has kind of this old school grindhouse feel to it as far as camera quality goes. Which is also, that's not necessarily to the film's detriment, because I think that also plays to this feeling of, oh, anything can happen in this movie, which you really do feel. You feel that in this one, and maybe even more so in the second one. I can't rate this just as a film. I'm going to rate it as a slasher film. And to me, guys, this movie is what I like to refer to as a slasher piece. Because it's not technically a very good movie. But, you know, like The Mutilator or a Blood Rage or Friday the 13th Part 4 or Part 6, it is exactly what I want to see from a slasher movie. So yeah, to me, this movie is a slasher piece. And it's so gory, and I recommend the shit out of it. And I also recommend the shit out of Terrifier 2. And you already know that, because I already released my movie recommendations of both this and Terrifier 2, but here is your full-blown freaking review for Terrifier 1, because it is October, and I will talk to y'alls later.